And we'll see if we can also have a chat with Elefant at some point.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
Um,
Elefantè, if you're. Yeah.
yeah, because he's in charge of the Rending, which is something I
Oh yeah.
really want to learn more about.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm aware, I'm not an expert. It's like basically the temples, the high temples in Hellas.
Yes.
The ones that sort of like they're sort of conduits to absorb spirits, so they don't. They're like prisons essentially.
All right,
Of spirits, so they
I'm gonna
don't.
drag him in.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Hello there,
Hey,
Elefant.
Elefante. Hello.
Hey, where am I? What am I doing?
You're gonna talk to us, and you're gonna
All
like
about
it.
the rending. Yes,
Un
like it.
Understandable. Yeah, I already did that.
Well, first of all, who are you, and what do you do in Anbennar and all that?
Sure. Hi, my name's Ellie. I am the new Hellas lead. I've been on the team for quite some time, and I am the guy that does all of the projects that no one else wants to do because they are too big or too hard.
Fair.
I am
Fair
the
enough.
I am the guy that people tell to do stuff or ask to do stuff because they do not currently have the faculties to do so.
That I mean, fair. I mean, that's a. If you're gonna give yourself your job title, like saying I do it because other people can't, I mean, big yourself up. Why not?
It's not that they can't; it's that no one wants to. No one. For instance, the rending. We've been working on this for what 2.5 years. No one.
Yeah.
Lots of people have tried. They've all gone insane. I swear, the rending has knocked off so many devs off of our team. The original people who tried it, I've never seen them again. I kid you not. They disappeared one day and never came back.
They got rendered clearly.
They got
Yeah.
rendered. That's all you could say.
All right. So what is the rending? Like you keep saying this
All
word,
right,
the rending.
rending.
What is it?
All right, so in lore-wise, in around the 1750s, Karachi drills. They're drilling away at all the high temples in Hellas. The gnomes, they really started gnoming up the temples and destroying their temple cores and selling them off for a massive markup. Now that's great for the gnomes. That's all well and good. Problem is, those temples were actually kind of important. So
Yeah.
it turns out temples, they are the only things preventing the great spirits from coming back from the spirit realm and rampaging over Hellas. The precursors put them in to sort of keep all the spirits at bay so they could do their weird experiments on Hellas. I don't know precursor lore. Sorry about that. But
That's
yeah,
fine. Don't worry.
in around the 1750s, the temples, three temples exploded at once in Tugayasa, in Tianlo, and another one that I forgot. But yeah, the temples exploded and a bunch of great spirits surged forth. Life was subpar for most people during this time, as in probably your life expectancy was in the Cambodian range of maybe 18 years. Yeah, you do not want to be alive during the rending. Spirits surge forth from the spirit realm. Everyone is not having a good time.
Yeah, but there's some benefits to the rending, isn't there?
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
what benefits you get?
So, for religions that traditionally are not a big fan of spirits, namely righteous path or especially high philosophy, or even left-hand path. All these religions, they don't have a lot of fun during the rending. During the rending, their entire shtick is we got to suppress the spirits. We got to or for the left-hand path in the Oni, they have to corrupt the spirits, scour them, and steal their chi. But for most tags, it is essentially just warding the spirits, trying to repair the high temples, get the spirit network back on track.
Okay.
But for certain religions, aka Mystic Accord, you operate a little differently. Your job is to be friends with the great spirits. You pledge yourself to a great spirit. You become the spirit tide. You get spirit mill.
Wait, whoa! Don't be glossing over that. You get spirit mill.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, please elaborate. Please, I beg.
Okay. So you are aware of the racial mills in the mod, of
Oh,
course.
of course, yeah.
And you aware that some are shock oriented, some are fire oriented, some are siege oriented.
Yeah.
This is Harimari. They're great at shock damage, but the moment you get into the artillery time of year, they stop doing too good.
Yeah.
Spirit Mill, we decided to take a little different approach. Yes, they're shock oriented, but their shock damage scales with your tech. Essentially, what that means is the better your infantry fire is, all of that infantry fire gets subtracted and put into your infantry shock.
Oh.
So what that entails is a shock oriented military that does not. Essentially, it scales. It's a scaling shock military, which is something that we've never done before. This is not play tested yet, so it's probably going to need some tweaking. But
Oh, yeah, it's definitely going to need some tweaking. Holy shit.
So
but, yeah, essentially it is you're getting a bunch of spirits, and essentially they are your military.
I'm imagining, Aragorn jumping off the boat with an army of the dead at his back. Is that the vibe?
Yes, that is the vibe.
Oh, I'm in love.
Well, it's a little bit different because the vibe we're kind of going for is Aragorn with all the spirits, except Aragorn has absolutely no control over the spirits, and he's essentially just riding the tide of them.
I love it. I love it.
Now I'm just got the image of Aragorn just on a surfboard.
Exactly. That is it. That's what we're going for.
Oh, I have my thumbnail for this interview. I have it.
We've captured the vibe perfectly. Come on.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So.
Oh, yeah. Just while you guys were talking, I just want to bring attention to the fact that the religion of Rahen has kind of changed a bit.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, like, Suhan's praxis is now...
oh, yeah, that was me. That was me.
Yes.
What?
I love it.
Guru Suhan. Okay.
So, Suhan, this if you've ever played in Rahen and you've played a high philosophy tag, you might notice that you do have, since like time immemorial, there has been a heretic belief in the mod Suhan's praxis. It's been in the files for years at this point, but
yeah,
this is
people pop it out and they just nobody converts to it, so it's like literally nobody knows about it, but it's a great religion.
No, that's the thing. It wasn't actually in the mod. It wasn't implemented. It was just the picture was there, the modifiers were there, but it wasn't actually in the mod. It had no way of spawning.
Okay.
It wasn't. No one took the time to actually implement the religion because it's a pain. And again, I am the guy who does all the painful stuff. So
yeah.
I eventually got fed up with us not implementing Suhan's praxis, and I was like, I pinged the Rahen lead, hey, do you mind if I just do this weekend? And it was like, if you think you can get it done in a weekend, sure. And so I did, and now it's there, and it is wonderful. The idea behind Suhan's praxis is essentially that Suhan, he is a white Harimari, like a white tiger kind of guy. He is a guru from Yan Shen, essentially a roaming Harimari, as they are called, from the city of Guhe in the League of Yansin. He is a philosopher, and he eventually takes his pilgrimage to the Hall of Endless Debate in Rai Vashapal, and try saying that 5 times fast. And he,
you already are.
Yes, he decides he engages in some of these debates, realizes that high philosophy is a deeply flawed religion. Misogyny, the castes, all of this slavery, all this stuff is not good, he realizes, and
It's progressive.
yes, he's very progressive, man. He is essentially the I don't know enough history to think of a good analogy, but he was an abolitionist, he was a women's rights advocate, he was all of these wonderfully progressive things in a medieval Indian society, and he went into the debate, and he was very good at it. So good, in fact, that he gained quite a following, and he decided to codify his thoughts and bring them up in the debate. And what it essentially is he took bits and pieces of all the different high philosophy schools. He took the emphasis on law and order that Golden Palace has. He took the emphasis on family that Orange Sash has. He took the emphasis on achieving ascendance through living within your caste, like Ascendant Soul. Or rather, not living within your caste, but rather living an upright life and, perfecting yourself is essentially the goal of Ascendant Soul. So we took all these ideas and melted them into one sort of smorgasbord, which he called Suhan's praxis. His praxis is the best parts of all of the Rahani religious schools. and even some bits of Yanshen from where he's from. And a lot of people did not like this, but a lot of people did. And he managed to outdebate his competitors in the Hall of Endless Debate, and that's essentially where Suhan's praxis starts. In Raivashapal, a center of reformation spawns there and sort of spreads out. And after 10 years, he eventually gets chased out of Raivashapal in the Hall of Endless Debate. Raja authorities start cracking down on him, and he flees over to Buvari and Sramya, where he continues to preach, eventually in lore converting Buvari to Suhan's praxis, and eventually turning them from a essentially shithole slave state into actual modern state with less bad ideologies. Not just like, hey, we're free slaves. It's turning it. He manages to turn them into an actual meritocratic state. And eventually he does get chased out of there too, makes his way over to the Elephant Lords and does a little more preaching up there for another 10 years. And eventually settles down into the Bomdan region and reunites with his wife, who he left in Yanshen to do his pilgrimage, and lives out the rest of his days in peace.
But that's a wonderful religion. I'm glad it's actually now out and about. I thought it was in the game already before, but no, you read it. Yeah.
Nope.
When you brought it up, I was like, "Oh, is this another one of the meme ones that have been added, like the Leechman thing?" And no, apparently that's just it's an entirely based religion.
Yes, it is high philosophy, but he kept the good parts.
Okay. So I want to just go back. I'm sorry, I want to go back to the Rending here.
Yeah, so let's go back to the Rending. I'm sorry about that.
I very much like Suhan's praxis.
I do myself. That's pretty. Yeah, it's based. So with the Rending, I heard a few months ago. I can't remember who told me this, but there was going to be a tag that wanted to, let's say, accelerate the Rending and bring it about earlier than it otherwise would have. What is that tag? And I'm just going to dibs it from my first game with this, just because that sounds cool. What is that tag?
Yinquan. It already has a mission tree, but only the first half. The second half, the Rending half, is currently going under implementation by our wonderful dev Alexis.
Okay.
It is almost done. She has almost finished designing it, and it's currently undergoing review. It should be in by the November update, and in case you guys weren't aware, the mod is getting updated on, I think, November 20th.
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Alexis was actually playing this tag at the start of the MP, but she sadly got crushed by, I think, Gafui.
Yes.
At the time, so it happens.
The team placement in Yanshen was a bit iffy, but yeah.
I think there's actually some clues about how the Rending is also related to Insaya as well. There was some sort of discussion about that, but I don't think that's finalized.
It is finalized. Would you like me to talk about that?
Hell yeah! Talk to me about everything.
Okay, so the way it works is, the valley.
Yeah, I love the valley. I love everything but the valley. I love the fact that there's a pillar in the valley that unlocks Insaya.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know how that pillar gets its energy?
Is it spirits?
Yes, it's from the high temples. And when the high temples explode, funnily enough, the Rending essentially opens up the superstorm around Insia, because when the high temples explode, they stop draining the great spirits of their spiritual energy and stop piling that over to the valley, and thus the valley cannot power Insia anymore. So you get this roundabout chain of reactions that I just got to crush the praxis, CB, lovely. Don't do it. Yeah. You essentially get a chain reaction that causes the superstorm around Insia to go down, and while Holes is sort of dying over here in their own puddle of spirits, you have a bunch of Kenorians rushing over to this newfound land of Insia just to get eaten by kaijus.
As one does.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's also then they're going to be they will encounter the Great Mechanim Empire. That's my headcanon. Great Mechanim Empire.
Not how it'll happen, but yes.
I'm
obligated to say that is not true, but yes.
So say you are playing a high philosophy tag, like you are as Dugajir, and the rending happens. Spirit-Tide is upon us. What can I expect? How boned am I?
How boned are you? That depends on how good care you've been taking of your high temples. If they are all repaired, all nice and spiffy. Oh, go ahead.
Say I found these things called Karashi drills, and I'm like, oh goddamn, I can make myself precursor relics with this thing. Oh, I'm drilling so hard.
Oh, that's the worst case scenario.
Yeah, no, that's kind of how I played before the rending was here. I got these drills, and I'm like, this is a really good trade good. I want it.
So you brought up a very interesting scenario because normally when a high temple gets damaged, like, oh, it just got a little cracks. We can slap on some duct tape through this little restore the temple decision that I'm sure you know of. Yeah, we can just slap on some duct tape. It'll be good as new in a few years. Karashi drills, on the other hand, you are taking the core out of the temple. You are rooting the temple. It can never be used again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there is essentially nothing you can do for that temple. It was a very interesting, I guess, problem to figure out. If the entire Rending gameplay loop is supposed to be repairing temples, if you can't repair the temple, what do you do? And the answer is cope. So not really. The way you work on it is you have to fall back on some incredibly expensive and devastating spirit hunters, and you have to hope that they'll be good enough to cover your entire country and help ward off the spirits for essentially the duration of Spirit-Tide until you can get rid of the Great Spirit in particular. Because the thing is, as long as you get rid of the Great Spirit that is plaguing your country, then the entire domain of that Great Spirit will no longer get the penalties of the rending.
Explain to me what these domains are.
Alrighty. So, along pretty much every major geographical thing, geographical formation in Hellas, including Rehen, there is the personification, or the rather spiritual personification of that thing. For instance, the Yanhei River. The Yanhei River is the domain of Yanhei, the Great Spirit, essentially a Chinese dragon. It's a storm dragon. And
I was right about the river name, by the way.
Yes, you were. Also, a big fan
I'm sure
of
you're
dragons.
very proud of yourself. remembering any name in Hellas is a challenge for most people. I understand that.
No, that's fair. That's very fair.
I mean, blame whoever decided to make the Raheni religion as incomprehensible as possible. Like what the heck is this name? Gavagundagundagun? That's not a real word. You see.
Well, so we deal with it though. That's all words in the end of the day are made up. All of them.
Yes.
So
just some are more reasonable than others.
Yeah.
Except the word fuck. That's always been timeless.
Yeah.
Every single.
I'm sure every civilization has had that exact word. Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So the river is
back on track. Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially, there are a bunch of great spirits. The mountain Tugiasa, the Oracle Mountain. I'm sure you know of it.
Yep. Tugiasa.
That is its own great spirit. The great spirit Tugiasa, the Omniscient. That's how they get their prophetic powers. It's a great spirit that's essentially seeing into the future and seeing all this stuff and relaying it back to the oracular order. That's how they're getting their cool knowledge stuff. They don't know this. They don't know it's all coming from a great spirit, mind you.
Okay.
But
they just think they're talented on their own, but it's just like a spirit decided to let them use his abilities.
But that's the interesting thing. Can you try to figure out why a great spirit would help them?
Because they're maintaining the pretty temple. I don't know.
The temple's there to keep the spirit at bay. The spirit wants the temple gone. The reason the spirit is helping them is not out of any sort of affection for them. It's out of fear of what it's seen in the future, and we're gonna have fun with that in next update.
Fear of what's in the future.
Yes.
Victoria 3.
Perhaps.
Oh my god, no.
Perhaps.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, is there maybe a spirit for the Karinyana River as well?
Yes, there is. It's a giant catfish. The Great Spirit Karinyana makes the entire Karinyana its domain. It's a essentially colossal tidal wave causing catfish that was last seen near the city of Enduvi.
Okay.
No?
Oh yeah, I know where that one is. No, it's Saramia.
But yeah, there are 14
Yeah,
great
somewhere.
there are 14 great spirits in total. I could go into detail about all of them if you wanted, but I bet you don't.
Yeah,
I'm
no, let's not
tempted.
go
I'm
on.
tempted. But how does the Spirit Tide like interact with Balrus? Is there
With
some
Balrus,
interaction there?
unfortunately, Balrus is taking a very, very comfortable nap and does not really care about the Spirit Tide at this moment.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
meanwhile, these kobold subjects are gonna suffer
Yep.
greatly.
Everyone is going to
Like,
suffer.
In
yeah.
in canon, I believe the kobolds were currently at this point subjugated by the Dragon Command.
Hmm.
So you know they got their dragon friends. They're just hobgoblins instead of actual dragons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dragon hobgoblins, who are the most they're the most scientific out of all hobgoblins as far as I remember.
You are
Yeah,
indeed correct.
I have a question though. Like, so basically, if you decide to embrace the spirit madness, do
Mhm.
you get to, when you're at war with someone who has not embraced the spirit madness, do you get to basically destroy their great temples to set
Yes.
free the spirits? Ah,
Yes.
nice. There we go.
Oh.
Yeah, no, destroying great temples is a core feature of the Mystic Accord path, which will just full disclosure, Mystic Accord path is not done yet. The other two paths are done. The Mystic Accord path is taking a bit longer. It should be done in the next couple weeks, well before the update, and
That's it.
at that point we should be down to play it if you guys wish. But yeah, until then, just be excited. It's very fun, and I'm very proud of what the team has accomplished in this time.
I actually am very excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, so am I. It's
Uh,
just like I'm just thinking like what left hand path. If those spirits go free, where are they going to get their power source from? Do they have to hunt these spirits down and trap them again just to get power?
Yes, yes. Yeah. I earlier I said that I was the guy who does all the stuff that people don't want to do. I feel like that's take a little bit too much credit. The Rending team has been wonderful here. We have around 7 or 8 people working very hard on all of this Rending content, and I could not have done it without them. For instance, we have Boynik. He's in this campaign. He's playing Sirenvar. He wrote, I think, 115 pages of localization, like Google Doc full on pages of localization for all the events that you see. We have another writer named Meme Graph. He's a very very nice Dutch man. I mean, English is not his first language, but despite that, he's still written like 100 events for the Rending. It's absolutely insane what these men have been able to do. These two guys have single handedly written, I think, around 400 events for the Rending.
Wow, nice.
That's
Nice.
I know those numbers sound a little abstract, but
Yeah, no, fair enough.
It's a big number, and I mean that's just you can tell any event that you have fire as your nation, like that's one event, and there's still plenty of writing in it for most events. If to write 100 of those, yeah, no, that's impressive.
It is very impressive, and I'm very happy with how the team has managed to come together on this. It was a monumental task. I was hoping to get it done. I'm my typical workflow is single-mindedly approach a task and drill it down until I can get it done as quickly as humanly possible. And the team somehow mirrored that perfectly and just went to town on this project, and it is going to get done way faster than we thought it'd be done. And I cannot be happy. I cannot overstate how thrilled I am with how the dev team has come together on this.
I'm going to
high
be looking
praise.
forward to this. Like, which is the primary tag you think should be played with the Spirit Tide then? Essentially, what tag?
There are 3 different paths for the Spirit Tide. Each one can only be done by certain tags, so there's no one tag that can do it. It's which tags are in the best position to do which paths is more the thing I'm talking about.
Okay.
So for the Warden's Press path, any okay, let me do this in the other order. So any Mystic Accord tag can do the Accord and Appease path. That's essentially you are the Spirit Tide. You break the temples. That's the Mystic Accord path. Any Mystic Accord tag can do that. However, the nations I say are in the best position to do so are Chien Bin Hrung and Certain. Those 2 tags are in the best position. Qianbin Rung through their mission tree can flip to Mystic Accord, which is why they're really good for it. But Ying Quan, like I mentioned earlier, is essentially meant to be the rending tag. They are in lore the tag that does the best during the rending. And yeah, they are the tag that they're essentially the personification of the rending. So for when Ying Quan gets their tree, they will be the tag. But until then, Qianbin Rung, I say, is your best bet.
Okay.
However, for the Scour Path, the Krypton Scour Path, the left-hand path, I suppose, is... There's only really one good tag to do that as, and that's as Jakuma. They get the whole left-hand path mechanics, they get to eat chi, the ogres, all that stuff. You know how they play, I'm sure you both played it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love them, so yeah.
Yeah, Gref did a wonderful job with that tree. And the Warden Suppress path, any other tag can do that. Literally any. And if you can't do the left-hand path one or the Mystic Accord one, you can do the Warden Suppress one. That's essentially, if you're a Kenorian colonizing into Hellas, you're gonna be repairing the temples. That is your gameplay loop. Any high philosophy tag, that's what you do. The command, that's what you do. Righteous Path is an interesting one. They can choose to either they can choose one of three options. They can choose to repair the temples and fight against the spirits. They can choose to join the spirits and do that whole Mystic Accord stuff without being Mystic Accord, or they can just flip Mystic Accord.
Okay.
They get the most flexibility in here because we didn't really want to lock in Righteous Path into one sort of path, so we gave them three.
Yeah, it's got opportunity to expand in different directions. Well, we like that. We like flexibility in our games.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, whichever one is most convenient for you, you can sort of pick as Righteous Path.
So for the Spirit Tide, you said earlier about when you're at war with somebody who is trying to repair temples, you can break their temples. Is that going to come in the effect of like a peace deal kind of deal, or how do you do this?
So when you occupy the province, you get an event to say, hey, either you can break it or you can spare it.
Okay.
You're not going to spare it.
Fair. When I break it,
always break it.
Yeah, when I break it, does it change into precursor relics? Am I strengthening my enemy in any way for this?
No.
No.
You're not changing precursor relics. You're just ruining the temple.
Okay.
There's nothing else you're doing there.
Okay.
Oh, we don't get the precursor relic if we, take the temple then.
The precursors were the ancient enemies of the spirits.
Yeah, but we don't get any of the precursor relics if we try and break that temple for ourselves. Oh well.
Nope.
Question from my chat. What happens if the Ghost Emperor is present during the Spirit Tide? And a follow-on from me. Is the Ghost Emperor in any way related to these spirits?
Okay. So that's a bit of a rabbit hole we're going down. Okay, first and foremost, I believe it is physically impossible for the Ghost Emperor to be alive during the rending.
He's in my palace when the rending sort of era happens, when I play as Mahong. Is it Mahong? No, it's not.
No,
Mahong,
it's Hansai. But yeah,
Hansai, yeah.
I'm fairly certain he. It's been so long since I played it. I haven't put too much thought into this. This is not. Hansai is more of Tater's thing. But I mean, the guy who's doing the Mystic Accord Path stuff. Firstly, yes, he is related to the spirit realm. He is currently He is currently a spirit anchoring himself to the mortal realm. That is literally what he is. He is a spirit. But to answer your other question about if he would just be vibing there during the rending, there is nothing to say he can't come back during the rending. The rending is when all of the barriers between the spirit realm and the prematerial plane break down. We could definitely see that stuff. We have not implemented it yet. To make it very clear, I am not certain whether the Ghost Emperor could stay alive until the rending, because the rending is like 1630.
Right. Maybe if Ying Quan is very good at their mission tree.
True. That is true. And which has been an absolute pain to think about, by the way, because like we have to every single time that we do make a minor design choice for the rending, we got to think like, oh, but what if it happens 50 years earlier?
Yeah. Like unit pips for spirit.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly that. That was our issue.
Right. Interesting. Okay.
I've got a question because technically there's another ancestor spirit that's in the side of Hales, and it's the Uzavar. King.
Who?
So,
I don't know of this. Who is this?
Verkal Ozavar, the dwarven tag.
Oh yes, one of those that is on my list of things to play. Nice. Okay.
I can attest to the quality of the mission tree because I made it.
Oh, very nice. I didn't know he was a spirit, or if there was.
He's not a spirit at game start. There is essentially Verkal Ozavar has sort of the first king of Verkal Ozavar is sort of just wandering around their halls occasionally, just vibing, and he's kind of like mindless until you sort of invite him to court, have a conversation with him, seek him out, and then you realize that there's a lot more going on with this guy than you thought. He almost in a way feels malevolent, and throughout their tree he sort of assumes more and more power in the state of Verkal Ozavar and starts setting up 5G towers around Hales to mind control them.
That's dope.
It's wonderful.
And all that Osmec stuff, all that spirit stuff was added like last minute, and I was surprised how well it turned out. But yeah, just in general, I'm a big fan of how Verkal Ozavar turned out, and they do have some Rending content planned. I'm not gonna say what it is. I'm just gonna leave that up for a surprise for you all.
Gonna let us play through it. Yeah, fair enough.
That's fair enough. God damn, I'm so excited now for the Rending. Like, I've known of it for quite a while now, but like it's been on like the periphery, and it's like, oh, it's something that'll come off in the distant future. You can worry about it later, but now I'm like, I want it now, you know. So
it is in a playable state right now in the Bit Bucket. If you ever want to give it a try, just not the Mystic Accord path. All the other paths are fine.
Okay,
just not that one.
All right. Well,
it's not done. The UI and stuff, the art and stuff is not done.
Okay.
But when it is, I'll side you a ping and let you know.
Oh, please do. Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Oh, ghosts. Oh, you love to see it.
Whatever joy you're deriving right now, I had that much joy making it. It's been a wonderful experience.
Well, see, my joy and the smile on my face is coming from the idea of playing as the Spirit Tide. It's going to be absolute horror if I'm on the receiving end of it.
Yes.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right.
That's the way it should be. It's like the Dwarvar disasters. Always great.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I've got more tags to add to my list of things to play.
Yep.
Which is always good, but it gets longer before it gets shorter.
It gets longer and longer. I understand completely.
Yeah.
I've been playing Anbennar for years now, and there's still so much stuff I haven't done.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to know the stuff that I haven't done, so yeah. It kind of gets interesting when wait a second. This is in Hales. This is my region. Why don't I know this?
Fair.
Look, I've never done Balrus, the mission tree. I've never done the Balrisian mission tree.
Me neither. It's on my list.
Yeah, it's on my list. Yeah.
And speaking of Balrus, they got eaten by Dwafwi, so sadness.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is.
I'm on Dwafwi's border. I'm gonna have to go to war with them soon, aren't I?
Oh yeah, definitely. And you've just got to cross through Nugtan Sari to deal with them.
No, I'm Dugajir.
So yeah, I think he's. I have a
border with them.
You've got 48 elephants. I think you'll be fine.
I will be fine. Yeah. I'm not worried.
All right. Well, before I let you go, then, is there any final words you want to say? Any tags you want people to check out? Is there just like final things?
Final openings. I guess this is my time to advertise.
Yeah.
I made the all claim mission tree. It is done. It is in. Have fun with that. It is as batshit as insane as the last one, just less. I just tried to make it actually playable.
It's sad that we didn't have Father Loris for this because he's been banging on about the all clan mission tree since the start of this Dev Clash.
Father Loris is just obsessed with goblins.
Well, that's because he is a goblin.
No, I understand it completely. But yeah, that's done. It's in. Other stuff. I know that it might seem crazy, but the Command is a very fun campaign that a lot of people haven't played. I'd recommend giving it a try.
Yes.
Beagle Torin did a wonderful job with that tree. I highly recommend it. And the only thing I really have left to say is I am very proud with the last team that and the Rahen team really. Just everyone past Bulwari has just done a wonderful job with the rending and getting all the stuff ready for the update, and I could not be happier.
Nice. That's
Yep.
glowing praise. That's what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right.
All right.
Thank you so much for coming to chat with us. That was a genuine pleasure.
It has been a genuine pleasure for me too. I was not aware I was doing an interview. Riverdoge just came in and said, "Hey, go to this. I'm sending you to this chat." Like, I'm like, "Why?" And he didn't give me an answer. So
Yeah, he was just a bit of kidnapping. It's fine.
yeah, I haven't been
All
here for
good.
the past couple of weeks, so I didn't know there were interviews.
Oh yeah, no, you've been on my list of people I want to talk to for a while. I'm glad we got you on the final week.
All right, well, I'm glad I've been here. It gave me some excuse to gush about Suhan, so it's been a good experience for me too.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much,
All
and
right.
yeah, good luck with the inevitable Dugajir Dahui war.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. See you.
Bye bye.
All right. Yeah. See you, Elefantè.